I'd been hiking for hours, the trees growing taller and the silence more oppressive with each step. The rustle of leaves and snapping of twigs beneath my feet were the only sounds that broke the stillness. I felt a shiver run down my spine as I wondered if I was truly alone. As night began to fall, I set up camp, the fire crackling to life as I huddled beside it. The darkness beyond the flames seemed to press in, making me feel like an intruder in the forest's domain. I tried to shake off the feeling, telling myself it was just my imagination playing tricks. The first night passed without incident, but as I settled in for the second, I started to feel a presence lurking just beyond the fire's reach. I'd catch glimpses of movement out of the corner of my eye, only to turn and find nothing. The wind picked up, whispering an unsettling melody through the trees. On the third night, I began to notice that the fire would dim and flicker in sync with my own movements. If I shifted my weight, the flames would dance and spit. It was as if something was mirroring my actions, watching and waiting. The feeling of being stalked sent a chill down my spine. I tried to stay awake, but exhaustion eventually claimed me. As I drifted off, I felt a presence drawing closer, the heat from the fire seeming to attract it. I was jolted awake by a snapping twig, and my heart racing, I scanned the darkness for any sign of movement. The fourth night brought an unsettling stillness. The wind died down, and the trees stood motionless, as if holding their breath. I felt like I was being herded toward some unknown fate, the presence closing in with each passing moment. The fire seemed to be the only thing keeping it at bay. As the hours crept by, the darkness began to take on a life of its own. Shadows twisted and writhed around me, like living things. I was convinced that I saw eyes glowing in the distance, watching me with an unblinking gaze. My mind reeled with the implications. The presence drew closer, its influence seeping into the fire, causing it to sputter and die. I was plunged into darkness, surrounded by an oppressive silence. The absence of sound was more terrifying than any scream or growl. I knew I was being stalked, and the hunter was closing in. And then, I felt its breath on the back of my neck. A cold, rank wind that seemed to carry the scent of decay and death. The presence loomed over me, its darkness coalescing into a form that defied human comprehension. I tried to scream, but my voice was frozen in my throat. The last thing I remembered was the feeling of being consumed by an eternal, suffocating night.